My name is Keisha. I'm the owner of A Way of Life. I've been a career and life coach for 8 years and an astrologer for 3. Our mission is to help people take control of their career future, whether to start a business or retirement, using astrology, strategies, and planning. Our vision is to provide a really clear idea of who you are, what you want, where you're going, and how to get there by making it a way of life.
Peace, 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 family. How's everybody doing today? My name is Keisha. I'm the owner of A Way of Life. I am a career and business coach using astrology. Today, I'm going to be talking about what is an idea worth and how to turn it into profit. But before I get into that, as usual, family, I have a few different updates that I feel like I haven't been doing lately. I've just been doing videos, jumping right in here without telling everybody what's going on, how's life treating me, or none of that stuff. So I wanted to take that opportunity to do this in this video, sorry. And wow, so let me see here. We'll have another live coming with Miss Tiara at a Day of Royalty. So if you're not following me over at A Wine Way of Life on IG, please do, family. And life is spelled Lyfe, to catch us every time we do a live, and you'll be notified. And we'll also be posting and promoting what we'll be talking about. So you definitely want to make sure you're following me over there for that. Also, I have not been posting on A Wine Way of Life. We do have some fall wines. So the ciders, it's really about as exciting as it gets with wine. And then we do have some other brands and things of that nature that we got up there. And so just bear with me, family. But always and forever, if you want to know what we have, you can go to the website at awayoflife.net, and life is spelled Lyfe, to check out all of our brands on there. And as usual, don't forget, if you become a club member, a wine club member, you will have access to free shipping. And so you definitely want to check that out, give it a whirl, see how you like our wine selection. Okay, so that's the first thing. Let's see. Oh yes, I always forget to do this, to say this message, but so first and foremost, let me just take 3 steps back. I know that I have quite a few new followers, so I want to say thank you so much for giving me your time and energy. I love and appreciate every single one of you, and I hope that this information is helpful. As you know, or may not know, I'm always talking about controversial conversations on here. So these kinds of topics, I feel like, are very important to where we're at life. Not just the topics that I'm talking about, but the fact that it's astrology alone. And so in saying that, it's very important, family, that you support, if you support what I'm doing and what I talk about on this page, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. So make sure you're pushing that like button if you like what you're hearing. Share it with your friends and families and tell them all about what we're doing, how they can get involved and connect. And make sure you subscribe and click that notification bell to be updated every time I go live. Okay, so making sure we're doing that. Okay, also, I have now November horoscopes done and complete, as well as eclipse horoscopes done and complete. So the November horoscopes will come out on October 15th. I am super excited for everybody to get their November horoscopes, stay up to date with what's going on, stay ahead so you don't have to get ahead, and prepare for what we have coming down the pipeline for the next few months. Also, I will be, and if you want your eclipse horoscope family, you have to become a cosmic community member. And for all my cosmic community members, if you want your horoscope now, just let me know and I'll post it for you. I'll send it right to your email so you can have that. But I didn't want to post the November or the eclipse ones too early, even though I think the earlier the better. But we are still feeling the October energy of in retrograde phase. And so we're just going with the flow here, family. We're, reflecting on the past. And so I'm trying not to push it, but as of October 15th, we only have 2 more planets after that we're waiting for to go direct, when I think really the shit is going to hit the fan. Excuse my French. But I think that's October 15th is a better time to put all that information out. All right. And so I also have the Aries full moon coming out. I'm going to post that a week early, as well as Saturn and Jupiter and Mercury going direct. I have those videos coming. And I also have the a little bit of a discussion around wrapping up for the eclipse season. So what have you learned? I'm pretty sure that's exactly what I'm going to name that video, but it will be all about the Sagittarius South Node eclipse that we will be wrapping up in December, as well as the full moons eclipses that are coming for November and December. So stay tuned as always for all that information and those updates. It's going to be a really packed time. Okay, and then last but not least, I am super excited. I just recently finished wrapping up my teachable course. So if anybody's familiar with Teachable family, you can go on there and find my Lifepath astrology workshop. As many of you may know, I have been promoting for the Lifepath astrology workshop for quite some time now. And I was facilitating all those groups, but with everything that we got going on, family, this is about preserving our energy, working smarter, not harder, with this Uranus and Taurus energy that we got going. And we are still very much in the very beginning stages of this energy. So most people may not be feeling it as heavy just quite yet. But I think this Aries full moon is really going to bring in some tough energy moving forward here. And we'll see and feel that on a pretty massive level. And so we're going to start to have to get down to the nitty gritty here on just, again, working smarter, not harder, and finding different ways to do that effectively. And if you are a teacher or somebody who does teaching and coaching, I can assure you, it took me no more than a day to set it up. And I don't know the benefits of the reaps of the rewards that I will get from it. I will keep you tuned, but I can only imagine that it will be a great opportunity. All right, so feel free again to share that information with your friends and family. And if you are interested in taking the Lifepath workshop, you can definitely go over to Teachable and find that class. All right, that is everything that I have, I think. Oh, and yearly horoscopes. I'm still working on those. I'm going to blow you guys' minds away with that. All right. So we are really moving into some volatile energy again with that Aries full moon, and I'll break all that down in that video. But I really wanted to tap into that because this is part of the reason why I'm doing this video. We're closing up some karmic cycles around giving our power to other people, working for other people. We're just not going to be taking it anymore. So I hope this video inspires you not to give up if you find yourself in a hard spot with all this stuff that could be coming up. I was listening to Boyce Watkins, and he made a really good point that not everyone is meant to run a business. And we should all own something as a way to bring in additional income, and as well as own our own assets. And if you've been listening to me for a long time, you know that I've stressed that a lot, a really lot on here. But I don't know if I've ever made that clear on here, is that I understand that not everybody is meant to own their own business. And I hope that I don't make people feel uncomfortable in any kind of way when I state that you have to do those types of things, but only enlighten you and encourage you to do what you can, really do what you can. But I'm always selling business because I'm a business coach, and I love talking about that because I understand not everyone's meant to own their own business. And to be honest, as I look at the astrology over the next year, I worry that we may have some very tough times ahead. And family, I have been stressing partnerships and finding your tribe over the last year with all this energy that is coming in here. And I really hope that we have found those people. As we go deeper, I think we may find that we may need it more and more. And this is not scare tactics, family. I'm not trying to put anybody in fear. Again, I want you to stay ready so that you don't have to get ready. And just be mindful, be aware, be conscious, be cautious of what's going on. I know I don't have to tell you guys what's going on in the world. You can see what's going on in the world, and the potential for things to get really bad is there. It's written, the writing is on the wall, if you will. And so just a few takeaways with this. Really take time to find out what makes you truly happy. How would your life look in that happiness? And what do you have to do to make that happen? And that's the question, really, I'm always asking, or answering rather, whenever I get on here and do any of these videos, is to constantly be in alignment with whatever that is for you. And unfortunately, in this country, we need money to do that. We need money to be happy, because working a 9-to-5 absolutely does not allow us to be happy, which really brings me back to the cycles that we're ending at this time. Unfortunately, we have some pretty determined people who don't want to give us freedom. And so they're going to try to use this virus here to keep people in fear, to do things that I consistently come on here to talk about, but don't let them deter you from your freedom, from your dreams and your goals, and whatever you have planned out for yourself. This is the way to fight back, is to make those goals, take steps into those goals, and making sure you're getting the help from the people who matter to you the most to get those goals completed. All right. So thank you for listening to my little rant right there. I felt like I needed to get that out as a precipice into this conversation. I know a lot of people already know I'm truly passionate about what I do, but when you have new followers and things like that, sometimes it's good to just reiterate what this page is really all about, and what it is that I'm really trying to help people accomplish. So to the original topic, We all have had billion-dollar ideas, but what is it worth? Is it worth anything? And can you sell it on the market? Have you ever had an idea and then a year later saw it somewhere else? I'm raising my hand. You can't see me, but that has definitely been me. Sometimes you might have had an idea, but don't know how to execute it, like McDonald's and the post office. So again, reflecting on Dr. Boyce Watkins, but it also happens to be something that I share with him. So both from his perspective and speaking of this personally, I remember when I started my journey, my spiritual journey, really, this had nothing to do with the business at this time. I was not thinking about being in business. And I used to do a lot of research on quotes, and then I would look up the people who did the quotes. I would learn as much about those people as I could. I just genuinely admired those people, and hearing their stories always inspired me in major, major, major ways. And so, like Dr. Boyce Watkins, I looked up people who I admired and read about their stories. And so he shared a post office, how the post office started, because he does the same thing. And so I didn't know this, which is why I chose to share these two. But the post office started by a young boy who was going around delivering mail to people. And somebody seen him do that and said, I'm going to use that idea and call it the post office. Boom. Could you imagine that? Just sit with that for a minute, family, and ponder on that thought. That is now a $1 billion company, right? And then you have McDonald's. McDonald's started out always as McDonald's, but somebody came in and said, hey, I don't think you're advertising this to your greatest potential. You can do ba. And they took that idea and turned that into McDonald's. And not only is McDonald's a $1 billion company today, but it's also a franchise. You can go damn near anywhere in the world and get McDonald's. Beautiful, right? When you think about how it started and how it grew, so I say that to say, don't ever think that your ideas are small, and don't just do the popular companies and people to reach from. Like I follow Dr. Boyce Watkins, and he always has these people, amazing everyday people who are building and doing phenomenal businesses where they just started with an idea. And you can now see that it's probably not a $1 billion company, but it's certainly making enough money for them to support their own families and bring in generational wealth. Okay, so a lot of you have had a $1 million idea and a $0 idea. However, a $1 million idea can be a $0 idea if you don't execute it. You can have the $1 million idea, but you don't have the $1 million work ethic. I would like to challenge that and even say you don't have the support, because that's what it really all boils down to. If you take a corporation, which is a pyramid system, not the scheme family, the system, every business, every corporation is a system, right? You start from the bottom, you work your way to the top, right? Every single business has that system structure within it, the pyramid structure within it, sorry. And in order, if you look at that idea, like let's go back to McDonald's. It started off, I'm sure, with whoever started that idea, they were in their kitchen making these burgers, right? And then once they grew it and it got bigger, well, now they had to get a building where they can make these burgers, right? And they had to get people to work in these places so that these people can make their burgers and sell them to people, right? And then it grew into French fries and other things that they now sell as their brand that people working for them are selling for them, right? And so when you think about that piece, that is literally a pyramid system and structure, right? And so they eventually, when you get so big, and not all businesses, I feel like every single business is probably going to be completely different than most and may not necessarily require that big of a, or that wide of a pyramid system, meaning you may not ever be at a place where you need to hire people. And if you don't, and you're in a business like that, kudos to you, but you almost undoubtedly are always thinking about other things to brand and sell within your company, right? And so in that way, you need help, right? Even if you own a product and you're selling another product, I'm pretty sure at some point you're going to need other people to help you complete whatever that product is, right? Even if you go to like Amazon and you sell it at your company, and you can sell it on Amazon and you can sell it on there and anywhere, you know? And so in that way, you kind of always need other people to help you fulfill that dream. And another reason why I have been strongly suggesting to people about business partnerships and relationships and the importance of building that, especially with your family. Your family is your first line of defense. And I know like 3 people just stopped in their tracks like, girl, do you know who my family is? Yes, 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 family. I know who your family is. I know that a lot of people don't come from places where perhaps we have the brightest bulbs in the pack, and we probably don't even get along with those bright bulbs in the pack, and that's okay. But get counseling. Start doing the work to mend your families. Even if you perhaps maybe you've lost family members and you don't have a family, but you've got an adopted family. Your friends now are your family, or your people from your job now are your family. Start with those people. And counseling is essential to any business partnership or relationship. You guys already know how I feel about your relationship to things. And so if you're not healing yourself, you're not giving the best that you can to those relationships, nor are you bringing in the best energy into your life. So when you focus and work on yourself and build on yourself, then you get that same opportunity to, for one, bring in people just like you on the same page that you can work towards together on the same goal, right? Those are essential pieces to building a partnership, and making sure that they are all being held accountable by going to counseling as well, right? These are all a part of the package. And if you're only doing one thing or the other, you can easily get taken off track within your process if you're not doing them all, period. That is the process. So I'm sorry, I'm just reading my notes, just making sure I'm on track. So if you have people who have the idea but are not motivated to bring that idea to fruition, again, you have $1 billion idea that is now a $0 idea. Then you have others who have the idea and think that they're moving but are not. Why? Because they have the education, they have the mentors, they have the plans, but because they are not executing the plans, they're not going anywhere. This I see the most. And I'm still going to harp on how much relationships has to do with that, because I've seen people start businesses and have an idea and just go as far as IG to do that. But they don't want to get the marketing help, right? They don't want to also do the work in the community, right? They're still isolating themselves and just putting themselves in this really small box. So you're only getting to about 500 people if you do it the right way and you use all that education, mentorship plans and bring it full circle by hiring people, getting all the other people involved, investing, bringing your family and bringing your siblings and holding people accountable to get counseling. Now you've expanded your net worth to 5,000 people. You see what I'm saying here? Right there is a process to bring this all full circle. And you have to do all of those things. You can't take any shortcuts and you can't miss any pieces if you want things to come full circle. All right, family. So let's see what we got next here. Now, of course, when I think of that from an astrological perspective, there are so many different factors as to why people don't follow through with things. The first thing is the many years of education that taught us to be consumers. We know nothing about what it takes to be a business owner. I promise you, we are on the opposite spectrum of that. That is the first downfall. The second one is going back to the family. We are not working together as a team, which automatically puts us in a really difficult position. And then even when it comes to our finances and our financial education and understanding, there's a lot of fear around that. We got years of generational curses and understandings of finances. And so we don't save money. We don't get the loans. We don't build our credit. We don't do all those things that we need to bring in that residual income because we think that they're all scams. The banks ain't no good, which, by the way, I will say with this Aries full moon, I will be talking quite the opposite of what I'm saying right now. And I just want you to know that there's a reason for that. And I will explain that in that video. But for the most part, we just have some really, really, really bad habits that we've taken down from generation to generation with us that has left us in quite a bind when it comes to building generational wealth in business. And then we have the outer planets in retrograde. These things cause delays. There are long periods of time of delays, of unforeseen issues in our journey. Some are short-term, some are long-term. Saturn, not mentioning any names, Saturn. Long-term Saturn is bringing in all kinds of things and lessons and karmic things that you have to learn before you can even get to a certain aspect of place in your life to even understand that, which, by the way, can be broken if we start saving for our kids today. If you have a baby tomorrow, you put money in the bank the next day. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it there. All right. Rather, don't even put it in the bank. Invest the next day. And the last thing is knowing what you're good at. What you're good at, having the knowledge to do that, and trust to know I'm sorry, family. I just couldn't read my writing just right there. So having the knowledge, so knowing what you're good at and what you're not good at, that's the first thing. Having the knowledge of that, trusting in that process that I'm just not good at certain things. So I'm ultimately going to have to hire other people to get other things done, right? And accepting that and finding, again, not just finding the trust within yourself for that, but also finding people that you can trust within that process. Okay. All right. The next thing we have in here is, can someone steal your idea? In my personal opinion, I actually don't think someone can steal from you because no one can do things like you can. Now, everybody who's been following me for a long period of time, y'all know how I feel about this topic. But I did a live on IG going through this entire process. So if you want more information on it, you can go check out all my videos on IG, take a listen and hear that whole concept there. But briefly, everybody has their own birth chart. This is why I love astrology. Everybody has their own birth chart, even if you was born on the same day and time. You have your own purpose and mission for why you were born here. The greatest example I have is the example of twins, right? Twins come here on the same day, same time, maybe a couple of minutes apart from one another. And believe it or not, depending on that spectrum can make a couple of minutes can make a huge difference, but most likely, typically not really, right? And so you can see that in twins, right? They like a lot of the same stuff. They might even look the same, but they are two very different people with their own purpose in mind when they come here. So I also believe if it is a very detailed design that is yours, I'm trying to think of an example. Just something that you created that it's almost damn near impossible that somebody else came up with the same design, right? Like you went out of your way to do things very, very uniquely, right? Now that's a different story, okay? But if you just have something simple that you're doing to get some extra cash, and 9 times out of 10, you've probably went somewhere to look for an idea of a logo, which we all do, by the way. We are all copycats. Nothing new under the sun. We've heard those sayings before, right? And in that way, we're like children learning from our environments and the people who have done things before us, right? And so when you get these, again, the only thing that changes is your personal spin to it. And that's okay as well. But this is how people can make extra money, by doing these things. And not everybody is super, super creative. So another perspective is like the MLMs that I've been talking about. And for those who don't know what MLM is, multi-level marketing, that is exactly what I'm using to sell my wine as a wine consultant. I do not know how to make wine, but I happen to like it. And so I'm using a multi-level marketing company. And I've been talking about this. If you've been following me, also you've heard me talk about this quite a few times, but everyone who's in a multi-level marketing company are selling the same product. And so the only thing that's different is that they have different audiences, right? And again, you have your own spin on how you are going to market and sell your item. And that can be in hundreds and thousands of different ways with each and every person. And so something like that can be used to your advantage as well, because not everyone is creative. I personally don't see myself as a creative person. And so you might need a program product like that to help you get ahead in life and, again, make some extra cash. And so there are so many different ways that you can talk about this, but short story, I'll try to keep it brief, but I've also talked about this in many of my other videos. If you know my story on how I got started as a life coach, as a career coach, I did a lot of work with a nonprofit program where we helped men and women who got released from prison for doing a life bid under the age of 18. Back when Obama was president, they passed that law that if you went to prison for a life sentence, age 18 and younger, you got released, right? And so this guy started this program to help them get a job, and he wanted me as a consultant. This was really the beginning stages of A Way of Life, because as a consultant, you literally have to, sign up as a business owner. And so I had my little clientele with all the guys, and what we did was we helped them change the way they thought about selling drugs, right? Drugs, same product, right? Everybody was selling the same product. And what we did was we took the indifferences within that process and showed them how they can be different, how they are all different, their niches, if you will, what they're really good at, right? And how to capitalize that and brand it, and also change their product, right? Obviously, we're not teaching people out here to sell drugs. Sorry, can't do it. So I am very, very passionate, as you can see, about this process. And I've had a lot of years helping other people find out how to sell something, even though I had them change their products. But you also have copyrights, trademarks, and patents to protect your intellectual property, contracts, agreements, SOPs, D&Ds, and all those things that protect you when you are thinking about starting your own business. So there are other ways. I just wanted to mention those other things because I felt like sometimes we get so caught up in those things that I just mentioned that we never get to the selling of the product because we might be fearful that somebody's going to take our idea, which, by the way, family, for me, quite personally, it's 101 that you're going to find somebody who's going to do that to you. Does it happen? Absolutely. I'm not saying that it isn't. I'm not saying don't be smart about it. I'm not saying that you shouldn't invest in these other processes and procedures, but only until you get really big and to a specific level that I think it really becomes of dire need, because even if somebody did steal your idea, I can almost guarantee, family, they are absolutely not doing it as good as you are. All right, and that's just my personal opinion. That is not my professional opinion. But the bottom line is, don't let anyone get in the way of your dreams, especially you being yourself. I will leave you with a poem that I had, and I hope it inspires you the way it did for me many, many years ago, and really, if I'm being honest, still to this day. Let me just clear my throat. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. I must have read that thing. Sometimes I would write it down and hang it up in my workplace. Like, just absolutely love that quote, because I feel like it is everything that I touched on in this live today. And like I said, family, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Now more than any time ever in the world, if you have an idea and you think it's great and it could turn into something, follow through with it. Do the work. Get some help and support. And more than anything, heal your soul throughout this process to give you the strength to do so. I hope you found this information helpful. Peace.
My name is Keisha. I'm the owner of A Way of Life. I've been a career and life coach for 8 years and an astrologer for 3. Our mission is to help people take control of their career future, whether to start a business or retirement, using astrology, strategies, and planning. Our vision is to provide a really clear idea of who you are, what you want, where you're going, and how to get there by making it a way of life.